Hey UNC Charlotte, this week on Niner News, the 44th International Festival kicked off, Homecoming Week begins, the Niner Nation Remembrance Committee met with students, staff, and the community, and the 49ers had their long-anticipated game against Clemson. This past Saturday, vendors from many countries around the world gathered up at UNC Charlotte to share a taste of what it's like to be from their country.
The 44th Annual International Festival once again brought together Charlotte's diverse population to share their culture and a taste of where they come from.
I'm from South Africa, and my culture is very important to me. You know, it tells a lot about my story and my background, and it just makes up who I am.
My parents are from the former Soviet Union, and so they migrated to the States in '96, and so I kind of always grew up in that environment. I learned Russian first, and then I picked up English at school. For me, you know, it's part of who I am.
I'm a German professor, so I'm supporting my students, but it's so much more. It connects the university with the community because, you can look around how many people are coming here, and it allows them to see that there's a lot of stuff happening here, and it's wonderful to come out and see that interaction, between the university and the community.
We came here today to enjoy good food, get to learn more about the various cultures and things of that nature.
I love it because I used to be a former employee here at UNC Charlotte, and I used to love to attend these events. It brings a lot of diversity to the university, and the students enjoy having this kind of events on campus.
We've been having this for the past 15 years, and this is very important to see the culture for Egypt and how all the Egyptian was, and how just to let people know, because a lot of people does not know about Egypt too. So it's good to just show people the culture for the country.
I think it's really cool, especially as a student who doesn't have a lot of experience with other cultures, that I'm getting to experience just a little taste of them. And UNC Charlotte's a really international campus, so a lot of my friends are from other places, and this lets them introduce me to their cultures too.
In addition to food and performances, games were set up in the field where families could enjoy their time. For the Niner Times, I'm Elizabeth McGuire.
1, 2, 3.
This Sunday, Homecoming Week kicks off at UNC Charlotte at 10 o'clock. There will be events throughout the week, culminating with our annual homecoming game this Saturday.
Homecoming is off to a good start with the kickoff that took place at the Union on Sunday night. The event started by presenting UNC Charlotte's homecoming court. Voting is open until this Thursday at 5 p.m. Next, there was an exhibition of the homecoming banners while people cheered for their favorite. There were also 2 performances at the Rotunda. Cheer Nation and the a cappella group Kodachrome entertained guests as they applauded and danced to their songs. The evening ended with a surprise visit of Coach Healy to attract people to this Saturday's football game.
We had 5,300 students. We had 3,500 students the second game. We expect 5,300 this week. It's homecoming. Help support those guys.
This week will be filled with activities and events throughout campus. For more information, visit homecoming.uncc.edu. For all of us in the Niner Times, I'm María Solano.
Several meetings this week took place with the Niner Nation Remembrance Committee in order to discuss possible ways to honor and remember the tragic events that happened earlier this year.
I'm here at the Center City campus where the Niner Nation Remembrance Committee is holding a meeting with the community to discuss how best to memorialize the tragedy of April 30th, 2019. One that took place on the campus of UNC Charlotte and touched the greater Charlotte community as a whole. We spoke with Emily Zimmern about the committee's duties and their plans to proceed going forward.
The 14-member Niner Nation Remembrance Commission was appointed by Chancellor Phil Dubois, and he has given us a threefold charge. The first is how to memorialize the young men Reed Parlier and Riley Howell who were killed in the tragic shooting on April 30th. How does the university best document and remember the tragedy, and to recommend utilization of room 236 where the shooting happened. There's also a community survey that will be going out next week that asks many more specific questions, and members of the commission will very soon be meeting with the families and the injured students and those who were in the classrooms for very specific feedback. Tragically, losing 2 students in this way profoundly impacted the campus. I mean, organically overnight, students organized a vigil and it packed Halton Arena. I mean, it was standing room only. I mean, people were deeply, deeply touched by what happened. And if there was any silver lining in that incredibly dark cloud, the university really came together. I mean, everywhere you saw Charlotte Strong and We're All Niners, and it also really prompted the broader Charlotte community to embrace UNC Charlotte in a new way and said, this is our university and we stand with you. We've gotten a range of feedback, ideas about a physical memorial, whether it needs to be in the center of campus or at a remove and more contemplative. There are events being planned for the anniversary. There will be events on campus and also here in the center city on April the 30th. There are those who have said, in terms of recommending the use of the room where it happened, there are those who say that we need to return joy and life to Kennedy Building. It was the first building on campus. There are others who say we can't use the room for anything because it's just too traumatic for those who were there.
Do you think there's a chance they're going to stop using the whole building?
I don't think so. I don't think that the chancellor has told us that that building will not be raised and replaced. The question, I think, is how will it be utilized for the long haul? Some the other day in a listening session on the main campus talked about perhaps that space could be used as an exhibit or as a place to remember the students. That's just one suggestion. This is a chapter that will forever be a part of UNC Charlotte's history, and we want to create recommendations that strengthen the university for the long term.
Any further questions or comments can be emailed to the committee at remembrance@uncc.edu. From Niner Times, I'm Elizabeth McGuire.
This week, UNC Charlotte went head-to-head against the #1 team in the nation, Clemson. And while the results were disappointing, we're very proud of the effort that our team put forward on the field.
Hey Niner Nation, I'm here in Death Valley where your Charlotte 49ers fell to the Clemson Tigers 52-10. Let's take a look.
Charlotte managed to put up 153 rushing yards on the Clemson defense. Benny LeMay led the pack with 81 rushing yards, Aaron McAllister was next contributing 36 yards, and quarterback Chris Reynolds rushed for 19 yards. The Niners passed for only 63 yards, with Reynolds passing for 43 and Keene for 20 yards. Charlotte scored their first points of the game in the second quarter off of a field goal from Jonathan Cruz. Chris Reynolds ran for an 8-yard touchdown in the third quarter to give Charlotte their second score of the night over Clemson.
We show that we can compete, no matter who we're playing against, no matter what the scoreboard says, if we fight to the end, and that's what we did. We had a slow start in the first half, and we came out, we fought. So I think that's what people see is, we always compete, we never stop fighting.
Alex Highsmith had his 5th sack of the year in the third quarter, tying Larry Ogunjobi for the single-season school record from 2016.
Time after time, we've shown that we will continue to fight, and so I am very proud of it. I hope that becomes a staple of our program.
Charlotte returns home on September 28th for a homecoming matchup against FAU to kick off Conference USA play. From all of us here at the Niner Times, I'm Sam Palian.